The Forsaken Airfield has welcomed us with its frigid temperatures and stunning vistas, and the last horizon is set firmly in our sights. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. So before I leave this cave, one thing I'm going to go ahead and do, because I have some insulated flasks full of tea, is we're going to go ahead and empty the flask. That's another thing. I was talking a few episodes about, like, quality of life changes that would be awesome. Talking a few episodes ago about quality of life changes that would be awesome. And one thing that I would really like to see, and I've said this a few times in this series, is, you know, just something to make managing those flasks a little bit easier. Okay, one of the rows of teas is sideways. We're just gonna pretend we didn't see that. All these are hot. We'll drink this one. Has a little bit of caloric value. And this will, of course, help keep us warm. And what's particularly interesting about this... Oh, interesting. I didn't even get all of it. How did that happen? Oh, you know what? This is the other one. That's the other one. I had two of these with rosehip tea. So, yeah. Fine. It's totally fine. Let's go ahead and warm these up. Oh, that one was not done. Okay, so actually we're only going to be able to keep that one insulated flask full. But let's go ahead and grab that. And I've got my bedroll, and we're going to head out. So yeah, this is pretty wild deja vu at this point, because in this particular playthrough, which has encompassed Season 01 and 02 of Against All Odds, not Season 1 and 2, but Season 01 and 02, special series, right? In this particular playthrough, we have been to the Forsaken Airfield multiple times. Alright, now I am carrying this meat again, and I'm now definitely going to be approaching an area where there could be wolves, so life could get interesting here. But I'm prepared to defend myself. Believe it or not, we're, like, really warm, which is nice. I mean, granted, we have the torch out, and we have the tea that we drank, and it's the end of the day. So, like, fair enough. But at the same time, this is the Forsaken Airfield, let's be honest. The Forsaken Airfield is not a hospitable zone. Alright, so here we have the fallen tree. This is one thing that the Forsaken Airfield has in common with the Sundered Pass. It's this very long, winding entry into the zone. But yeah, now I feel silly about worrying about the wolves last episode, because I thought, honestly, that I'd already passed over that bridge. But obviously I hadn't yet. So in my mind, we were much closer to where I'm headed now, which is where I'm likely to encounter the wolves. Of course, I'm adding to my encumbrance slightly by picking this stuff up. That's okay. Let's keep moving. It does seem like a blizzard is kind of threatening, so I'll need to be quite careful about that. Okay. If I'm going to get barked at unexpectedly, it's going to happen starting now. Just depending on where the wolves actually are. Because I think I have encountered one basically on this slope here. If I'm remembering correctly. I might be jumping the gun a little bit. Alright, torch went out. Let's get the rifle out. Part of me is tempted to actually cross this slope here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay on the road. Because again, we are close to a building where I'll be able to get shelter. Plus, I do kind of want to scope out this pond. There's always the chance that, you know, low-lying water like this where you can see these thickets. There's always a chance that I've missed a cattail or two, and having that to snack on wouldn't be the worst thing. Alright, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that building is pretty close now. But let me actually take this opportunity to hop up here and look down the road from slightly higher elevation. Bunnies. No wolves. Yet. But remember, I'm a little bit whiffy. So I'm fully expecting the wolves to come my way if they pick up on that scent. Stick. Stick. Alright, so far so good though. What would be really nice is if I could make it into shelter. Well, see, here's the thing. Part of me doesn't even want to stop for shelter. The wolves are mainly on the other side of this, so I don't think I need to worry too much about wolves right now. It's when I pass this, now that I'm looking at it again and thinking about it. Yeah, it's when I pass it that I really need to worry. But I'm still going to take a look around. Also, I want to look back there because it looks fairly low-lying and flat. I'm not sure if there are any more cattails. Nope. Okay. No more water. Man, there are a lot of sticks everywhere. I'm fairly certain I've already harvested the acorns from these trees. There will not be extra. Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna go up here. I don't need to stop at that spot. And there's two reasons. First reason is that I know that spot is there if I need to double back. And it's on a road that's near me. So I kind of know where I need to go. But also, like, visibility is not terrible at the moment. With the exception of this blind hill. Visibility is not terrible. And, yeah, see? You can cut up through here, and look what I'm looking at now. It's such a nice shortcut. Holy crap. It's not the first time I've done this, but, like, this is so great. Rather than following the road around that blind corner and wondering whether the wolves on either side of it are going to jump you, you have the advantage of kind of hanging out on this side of things. You keep the high ground. And everyone knows what that does for you. Guaranteed victory, right? It's over. Yeah, we're good. So now the only challenge is, if a blizzard were to pick up right now, I would probably double back. But if this weather stays as it currently is, I might be able to make it all the way to the airfield. Now that I've said that out loud, the game will probably find a way to stop me. Tell you what, speaking of that, let's eat a little bit of the meat that we're carrying and drink a little bit of the water to reduce encumbrance and also slightly reduce the scent. So interestingly enough, the way, as we've talked about in past survival school content, the way that the game represents like whether or not you are giving off a scent,
feels like night is coming.
It's represented, you know, just within basically a decimal value. But the way it's represented in the interface is with this ordinal value where it's like 1, 2, or 3 bars of that like scent meter. And the truth is, there are values in between those bars. There are values less than 1 that, like, you can be carrying something giving off a scent and the wolf will react. You know, bears will react, etc. Predators will move toward you. So there's more than 1 wolf in the area here. Predators will move toward you, even if you have less than 1 full scent bar. Which is interesting. So that also means that you can, in theory, I don't know that I've thoroughly tested this aspect of it, but it makes sense given that first... Oh, hi. It makes sense given the... Oh, you know what? I'm almost going to be cold. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Come on.
It's goddamn freezing.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So yeah, I don't know that I've thoroughly tested this, but it just makes sense to me innately that, like, you could also eat some of what you're carrying, and even if it doesn't, you know, remove the bar, it still reduces the overall attractiveness, maybe even the detection radius, if you eat a little bit of what you're carrying. That's not going to be the last wolf to come my way. But the good news is, if we keep the current amount of visibility, I'm going to be able to orient myself correctly in the next couple moments. And we can just beeline to the airfield. Yeah, so you can definitely tell that the cattails along here have been picked clean. I've been here a couple of times. That's one downside of the current situation. There's just, that's why we're risking having all this food with us. All this smelly food that I've been talking about for a few minutes. Because I don't have cattails to munch on. I can't live off the land in the way that I might normally, even though this zone is so generous with cattails. I've just spent a lot of time here. We actually started Season 01 in this zone. Are there? Huh. I thought I saw some cattails there. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting moment. Hold on.
My fingers feel numb.
Yep. Want to stay warm enough. Alright, so we got 2 wolves in front of us. I can see where I need to go. Alright, so we've got 1 wolf aggroing. I can see him. He's coming toward me. I know you might not be able to see him because YouTube compression. I know that this is not ideal, but I'm trying to keep an eye on that wolf. That's the #1 thing at the moment. Can I eat through here? That'd be cool. Alright, I don't exactly have the high ground on this. He might sneak over the ridge on me. Lost the high ground. You know I'm in trouble now. Okay. The memes are strong with this episode. Okay. I'm gonna sprint for the hangar, because it's in plain view. Might not have to tangle with these wolves. We'll see. I might have been wrong, too. I thought... Yeah. Yeah, they're both aggroing. Okay. They're right behind me. I don't think I'm going to have to shoot them, though. Even if they charge, they won't get to me before I get to the door, unless there's a wolf already here. Yep. There's one right there. Very nice. So this is pretty good timing, all considered.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Alright, I have a little bit of light. I'm going to use it. What would be amazing is if there was a storm lantern here from a previous visit that I had like left behind. I think I've mostly harvested extra storm lanterns in this playthrough when I found them, but an extra storm lantern would be great. Another thing that would work is... Wait, how much was left on that torch? Hold on. Hold on. 16%. Okay. Let's harvest that one. 16, I mean, I'll take it. I don't need a lot of light. I just need something to get me down there. I could also light a flare. I've been somewhat stingy with my flares. In a way that's not entirely necessary. We're not even going to worry about the match. Because we have matches. Oh, look. There's a fire log. Okay. Let's head down here. Not having my bedroll at this point would be annoying, let me tell you. Alright, so there's lots of stuff that I've left here from previous trips. There's a can opener that's in better condition than the one I currently have. A couple of can openers, in fact. So we'll switch that out. But otherwise, I'm just going to let that be. That potato sack is thoroughly and completely empty, as expected. Okay, the flight jacket.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
A couple of flight jackets. Heavy hammer. And lots of sticks. Marine flare. Extra hatchet. Yeah. Not our first trip down here. Okay. Now that we're safe, we can finish consuming some of this. I might even have some water laying around here somewhere, which would be nice. Now, I don't think I need an aurora to get into the bunker now that I've found it. But it sounds like we have an aurora right now. So if that one's still going when I wake up, which is... Yeah, it is still going. Okay. I'm going to take advantage. I am absolutely going to take advantage. Hold on. Let's go ahead and grab this flare, because I can. Alright, we're going to drop every last one of those sticks. Don't need them at the moment. Uh-oh. I think the aurora just stopped. I'm still going to go outside. Yeah, it just stopped. Oh, that's so annoying. Why would you... Game. Game. All right, here's what I'm gonna light the flare. I'm gonna light the flare that I just. Talked about a moment ago. And we will just come up here. Yeah, you can tell that the cockpit systems are still shutting off after having been powered back up there. So let's just throw that. And now drink this. We're going to have to pass time for like 6 hours. Don't love that. But I do need to recover a bit of condition, so there's that. Sleep for about 3 hours. Sounds like the weather's pretty decent. So yeah, this will be a bit of an adventure because I don't know for a certainty. I just have no idea whether or not I need an Aurora to get into the bunker. I don't think I do. There's a part of me that's still thinking about it in... Oh, was that both of them? Nice. There's a part of me that's still thinking about it in terms of that one bunker that I think... Did it belong to Jeremiah? I think it belonged to Jeremiah. There's a... Or at least he directed you to it. Maybe. Maybe not. I might be misremembering that. But it's from the story mode. And there's a bunker that you kind of need the Aurora to get into in order to access it. And I don't think... I think these hatches actually have a lever, but you need the Aurora in order to... Right, so there's some deer at my 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Yeah, you need the Aurora for the shortwave radio. The handheld shortwave, which you use to locate the bunker. But then you're fine. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. I know that it's much farther back into the corner. Demon. Freaking demon, I swear. At least there's plenty of food around. If I did decide I wanted to hang around and, like, do anything else with this save. I guess that's one thing about coming back here that's a little bit, like... It feels a little bit like a nail in the coffin for this series, because, like, in order to continue it in any kind of interesting way, we would have to be in one of the newer zones, I feel like. I'm pretty familiar with Forsaken Airfield at this point, which is cool. Map knowledge, right? If we played here on a higher level, and we have, we absolutely have, but if we were to do it again, like, I wouldn't be lost. At least not as much as I would be in Sundered Pass. Not as much as I have been in Sundered Pass for this entire series. I just wouldn't be. Wouldn't happen. Alright, starting to get pretty cold. Interestingly enough, when I was here, when I first found the final bunker, Bunker Omega, which we're returning to now, there were no bears or wolves.
Jeez, this is cold.
It was kind of wild. That tree kind of points toward it, honestly. I actually do think I see a wolf over there. That might have been a stump, but it looked a little bit too wide to be a stump. But yeah, this particular area of the zone doesn't seem to have too many wildlife patrols. That being said, maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. Because when the December update drops... when the December update drops, we are going to have a wildlife refresh.
freezing.
And when that arrives, everything I say about where wolves and bears and deer and moosen and even bunnies and ptarmigan, everything we say about where these creatures are will be absolutely eradicated. It will no longer be relevant. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like I'm following the exact path I need to. But I kind of know what I'm looking for, sort of, maybe-ish. Yep, and it's that. Perfect. Doesn't mean I'm not suspicious of where the wolves might be. I think there can be some wolves over that ridge, but I don't think they're gonna aggro to me at this point. And the cool thing is, right now, let's say I can't get into this hatch for the reasons I was just saying. Maybe I do need an aurora. There's a house nearby. Again, because I'm not lost. There is actually a place where I can get shelter and warm up. And of course I have no bandages. So that's kind of annoying, but it's fine. Because there's not going to be a wolf up here. And I can get inside the bunker and make a bandage, but I could also... I could afford to eat the condition loss while I ripped up some cloth. There it is. Ooh, glimmer fog. Yeah, okay, see, you can open it. You don't need an aurora to get in here. This is not a powered hatch. Interesting. Lots of stuff that I left last time. Oh, hey! This is where I took my crampons off. See, I kind of want to put them back on. I do. I want to put them back on. The rifle holster is nice. It's nice, don't get me wrong. But I got my crampons back. You know what? That's the real victory here. Is that I got my crampons back. Oh, man. Okay. There's also a possibility I could find like a storm lantern here, which would be nice. There's a flare. So I'll keep myself open to that possibility. Since we have glimmer fog, I can use this to look around. But first things first. Let's absolutely, since we've already arrived, let's look at Polaroids. Investigate the area. There's a hidden room. Right, with a barrel by a narrow doorway next to some boilers. What look like boilers, anyway. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look for another lantern, because if I found another lantern here, it'd be amazing. It's very possible. Oh, nice. I never took this water first time through. Okay. There's a rifle or a firearm cleaning kit. I think when I came here the first time, I was pretty loaded up. Even more so than... Hell yeah.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
I got my crampons back. There's a jerry can full of lantern fuel. I have a storm lantern again. Oh, all is right with the world. And we're going to finish the final tale. This is just chef's kiss. Long, dark comfort. Time to get back to proper Against All Odds content, isn't it? We're too comfortable. But for now, I'm going to enjoy it. Alright, that is a cookbook that I don't need to read. That is a candy bar that I missed. Hello, or granola bar. Wow. Alright, well, let's continue to look around. Again, we're looking for those boilers. There's a flashlight there that I don't care about because I've got the fancy flashlight. Thank you very much. Oh, did I accidentally shut off? Alright. Every kind of narrow doorway I'm going to be, like, staring at very closely. Some matches. Hunting knife. 80% hunting knife.
Walk with this much gear.
That's actually not as good as the one I have. Also, that charcoal needs to go. So let's drop that. That's way too many flares. We're going to drop those. Drop that. That is one thing about switching back to the crampons is, like, as nice as they are, like, my encumbrance will go up because I'm no longer holstering the rifle. It's okay, though. I'm not super concerned about it. If that's not already incredibly obvious. I don't care. The rifle holster is a nice novelty item, but I think these are my favorite accessories. Unless the game is about to give me a fancy new accessory that I like even more. In which case, I'm here for it. Just going back through this area, because I am kind of keenly aware that I missed some things the first time, so yeah, mainly just clothing. Okay. This is the entrance. Ah. Okay. Ah, I see it. Yeah, I see what it's trying to get me to look at. Alright, cool. Hold on. Let me take another moment to look around. Thank God for the glimmer fog, by the way. The game's being really nice. This is, in some ways, I kind of feel like the Long Dark is rewarding me. It's giving me a very comfortable potential final episode here. It's saying examine the wall. There we go. Ooh. What have we here? Discover Rudiger's true fate. Look at the journal for more info. There's a metal lamp. Alright, we're gonna take our time with this before we even go in there. Alright, so now this is it. This is it. This is the moment. Oh my.
I think I can use this.
Hello? Tactical jacket? Durable jacket made from treated heavy canvas, favored by adventurous types who have to improvise. You had me at hello, maybe.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Interesting. Okay, so it's like more protective than the Expedition Parka. It's the same weight as the Expedition Parka. I know it looks like it's heavier, but it's because I'm not wearing it. And it's less restrictive than the Expedition Parka. Much more protective. Similarly absorptive. Man, it's not that great though compared to what I've already got. It's an awesome item. It's awesome. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But compared to what I'm already wearing, I'm probably going to leave that here. I have no reason to keep it with me. However, there may still be other things. So we're going to just take this one step at a time. Ragged fleece cowl. Insomnia risk. Security chief's ID badge. Foreman's technical log. No, I didn't mean to turn that off. I might be getting a new mouse soon, y'all, because this mouse is new. I can use it with my other machine, but, like, the buttons are so sensitive. Like, if my finger twitches even just a little bit, It'll be like a click. That's happened so many times with gunshots. It's happened with right clicks. It's ridiculous. So, gonna look into that.
Just waiting now, trapped in squalor, brought low by my ambition. Still, I believed I was right. I am right. If we are to move forward as a species, we will need better models for understanding our planet and its potential for creative destruction. Eras when it wipes the slate clean and starts again. I wanted to profit from this knowledge. Probabilistically, my chances were good. A dice roll, yes, but the numbers suggested a favorable one. Based on my current condition, I overestimated my chances.
Was he using himself as a test subject of some kind? Like, did he think that he would somehow be able to, like, contribute to the knowledge he wanted? Security Chief's ID badge. John Industries.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
So, that's the security chief we buried last episode. And then that badge that I just gained. Can I look at it right now? I'm guessing I don't think I can. Rudiger's watch. A gold watch. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at what these badges are, maybe in the menu of the game. Because it's not giving me any information. Alright, here we go.
Writing this while I still can. So there's no question. So someone knows. So it all wasn't for nothing. It's getting colder. And I'm starting to lose it. I've kept doing what the doctor said. The writing, the breathing, the mental games. We'll see. Rudiger had been holed up in here for a while. He wasn't exactly happy to see me, the bastard. Just laying there in a heap. But this is how I remember it going down. The Stalker shows himself. You must be pleased to see me as this pathetic creature. To witness this.
Did you think the board was gonna sit by and let you just walk away? After everything you promised? If it had gone another way down in that mine, you'd have never even known I was here. Just another hired hand. But it didn't. And now we've all paid. Even you, I think. Unless you have a cure. You wouldn't risk it otherwise. Except you would, wouldn't you?
I had not considered this a possibility. Everything that has happened, at least not a likely one.
God damn it! Oh, I'm gonna... Where's the data?
Control yourself. Emotional volatility, lack of inhibition. These are the signs you have been affected like the others, just as I have. I didn't predict this. It is my failure. I regret that. Just as I regret what I have to do now.
Don't do it! He rolled over and drew a gun on me. I only got off a single shot, but it was a good one. Enough to put him down. Just enough. I could see he'd already had a bad time of it out there. Can't even keep these pages straight. Gonna rest a bit, and then see how far I can get. With whatever's left of me. But maybe I shouldn't make it.
Interesting. So that concludes the tale. Signal Void's done. Buried Echoes is done. Last Horizon's done. I'm still... Oh, yep. It was a good shot. As soon as he said that, I was wondering if you'd be able to see that. And you sure can. So I'm still processing a little bit. And before I wrap up this recording, because this could be the last one in the series, I'll leave it open-ended, just in case, there's anything more that we think is worth doing. But this has been a long series across a couple of different saves at this point. So, I would also be content if this were the end of the Season 0 runs. But anyway, that aside, it seems like Rudiger was trying to gain some kind of just high natural knowledge about the planet's potential to basically, when extinction events happen, and there are kind of species-based like resets, mass extinctions, like are there errors when life kind of naturally tries to reboot itself in one form or another? It's kind of abstract what he was saying. It's hard to know exactly what he was getting at, and that's probably Raphael's intention, just in the writing. It's not meant to be like overly specific. Oh, I see see an orange soda there that I hadn't picked up before. But it seems like whatever he was trying to figure out, he wasn't able to in the end. What was interesting, though, is that line about unless you have a cure. Is that a cooking pot? Yes, it is. Hey, we even got our cooking pot back. We got our crampons back, got our cooking pot back, and we got this storm lantern. Everything is right with the world. But there was that line, like, unless you have a cure. And that makes me immediately think of that hard case that Astrid has been carrying around since the beginning of the Long Dark's story mode. I don't know for sure whether or not that's in any way connected, but it seems an awful lot like a really high-value item, the kind of which would be locked in that case if that were true.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
So I don't know for sure. Oh, wow. It's actually really crappy out here. Let's go back inside. I should have known that with the glimmer fog. I was kind of hoping to come out here and get a nice view, but with the fog and the wind, we might as well end up, or just finish up down here. But yeah, so that's my suspicion at the moment. But this is kind of the way that I suspected the tales would end, because they're meant to be sort of interesting narratives, but they're not complete stories in the same way that the chapters of the Long Dark are complete stories. They're not, and you shouldn't expect them to be, because then, like, that's too much energy going into the tales and not enough into the actual story mode. These are just very light kind of vignettes of plot that fill in some of the gaps that you'll learn about in the story mode of the game, presumably even more in Episode 5. The light at the end of all things, I believe it's called, or a light at the end of all things. So, overall, I think I found the second tale the most compelling. I think I found the first tale the most challenging because of getting all around Great Bear and taking care of all of that. But I think the second tale was the one that I liked the most. The emotional payoff of burying the security chief. Jennifer, you're not going to have to carry the load much longer, period, because I'm about to stop this episode and possibly this series. But anyway, I think the emotional payoff for me was greatest with the beginning of, or with the end of the second tale. And with the third tale, I'll have to take some more time thinking about it, but I don't know that I'm really I might have to wait until finishing episode 5, which again is kind of what I was expecting, but it's a little bit more disappointing than I expected it would be. I knew that these were vignettes that were planted into the game as a way to sort of flesh out the plot and support the story of, you know, episodes 1 through 5. And that's what they've been. But I was really hoping for a more climactic reveal there at the very end. And the most climactic thing, again, was that line about, unless you have a cure. Makes me wonder if there's some connection there. Again, already said that, but in terms of like what Rudiger was doing, I'm sitting here like, you know, I actually don't have that information. And there's nothing telling me what it is. So maybe that is also going to be in the main story. And if that's the case, then that would be satisfying, and we'll just have to delay that gratification until the story mode kind of arrives. But, yeah, that's a really... I was expecting it to be like this, but now that it's done, I'm kind of a little bit melancholy about it, because it's like, oh, okay, well, I feel like maybe because the emotional payoff of the second tale was so great. I mean, because when you think about it, you found that waterfall, you put someone to rest, it had a poignancy to it, and you felt something when you did that. It felt like what you were doing really mattered. And this one has been leading towards this whole idea of like, oh, discover Rudiger's true intentions, discover Rudiger's true fate. And it's like, okay, I discovered that. I don't really know anything more about his true intentions, though. I found his true fate. But I don't know what he was doing. And so, like, the third tale doesn't really have that much of a payoff. And my guess would be that the reason for that is that giving it a full payoff would be spoilery of the main story content, which is going to be in episode 5. And maybe there's stuff that I don't know because I haven't played episode 4. That's entirely possible. But, yeah. That's the long and short of it, really, in terms of my overall reaction to this. We're almost at the 50-minute mark, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode and possibly this series up. I will kind of leave it open-ended, so like you can look at the playlist and like, or maybe even just at the end of this episode, if episode 22 pops up, then or episode 23 pops up rather, then you can know that there will be, you know, more to watch. But also treat this tentatively as the end of the Season 0 runs. The Season 0 runs have been a lot of fun, but at the same time, they are meant for kind of exploration and refamiliarization with some of the base systems while also getting familiar with some of the new systems. We're not quite done with Tales yet, but I don't think that the December update will warrant because there aren't going to be any more Tales themselves. I don't think the December update will warrant another Series 0 run or Season 0 run. I think we're more likely to be talking about Against All Odds Season 8 quite soon, which is going to integrate some aspects of the Season 7 code, possibly bring the rifle back. Still thinking about that a little bit. But also, I might be integrating some components from this code, not easy components, but hard components. Like I liked the frequency of auroras in this, and I like the idea of making things a little bit spicier by incorporating that in the mainline Against All Odds custom difficulty. And of course, one thing that's really exciting about custom difficulties on the channel going forward, regardless of this next series that we do on the channel, is that going forward in the Long Dark, next year at some point, the Long Dark is going to have even more robust custom settings than it's ever had before, which is what I've looked forward to for a long time. If you want more information on that, check out the Dev Diary or the video that I posted about the Dev Diary just a few weeks ago, because there's a lot of really good stuff to look forward to in December and indeed through 2025 in the Long Dark. But for now, I will go ahead and stop this episode and possibly this series here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes drop at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time every other day. And comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next series.